my notes. Sanibonani and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Igama lami nguSinothando Mkhize and this is Blooming. If you are not yet a subscriber, please do hit that subscribe button so that you can be part of the Blooming squad. So welcome guys, it has been a while. Okay, but that's not what we're talking about today. Today we're talking about friendship. Now friendship has been a super highly requested topic to cover for some reason, and I've kind of been putting it off because I genuinely don't feel like I'm qualified to talk about friendship. That is some of my biggest struggles right now in life, just like navigating friendship, forming and creating new friendships. That part especially is just like terribly bad. And thirdly, when I wanted to create a friendship video when I am with my friends, so that it can be more of a discussion, because I'm like, what on earth will I add to this whole discussion of friendship? But then anyways, I realized that I do have a few things that I could talk about, and do rest assured that in November there will be a party of friendship featuring Anate, because she's coming over to see me in Joburg. I'm very excited for that time, so please do stay tuned. That's like next month, and we're going to be doing like a follow-up on this video, right? So as a child, I had zero issues forming friendships. I was one of those bubbly kids, abakhulumayo, abaphaphile, who will come to you, greet you, and just like get to know you just like that. I'm not great with small talk, so somehow the conversation will always go into something like into something substantial, you know. And that has always like been me. It's, you know, I never overthought like meeting people, you know, and that was me for the longest time. Even in high school, I was that person. I was not afraid to put myself out there. Actually, that's the biggest thing. I was not afraid to put myself out there. Like, I was never afraid of rejection. Even though it did happen, it did not faze me for some reason. And Anati always thought that was so gangster of me. She was like, oh my God, how do you not care? I'm like, bro, I don't care. Like, honestly, if you reject me, okay, cool, I'll move on to the next person. There are like so many people out there that I could befriend. And then university happened. I've never really spoken about this experience on my YouTube channel, firstly because it involves other people, and I genuinely just I get all iffy about talking about like other people. For instance, you've never heard me talk about a breakup or like a story time about like a nasty breakup or whatever. I don't know, because I feel like just because I'm okay with putting my life out there doesn't mean that everybody is. But I do talk a lot about my parents, so so I mean, they birthed me, they brought me here, they shall deal with the rest, okay? But this one, secondly, I've never spoken about it because it has genuinely taken me this long to process it. It has taken me over 4 years to get to a point where I am kind of okay with that experience, and I can talk about it without crying, actually. So this one is of rejection, and like I said, I've never been one to be faced by rejection, but these were my friends that I had all through first semester of university, and I was having the time of my life. First semester, first year, what? Best time of my life. And a huge part of it was because I really felt like I had found a home away from home and family away from family, and they truly make the experience the great experience that it was. And then in second semester, it was actually fourth quarter to be more specific. They sat me down, two of them, they sat me down, and they start telling me that they can't be my friends anymore, and they start listing reasons why they can't be my friends anymore. And you know, they go reason number one, reason number two, and then they give like, you know, instances and examples of me displaying that behavior, right? And then, you know, now we're here in this room and I'm crying, and one of them is also crying, and it's just like this weird, and I'm like, I am so sorry. I had no idea I was that person. I had no idea I was bringing so much misery like to you guys. One of the things that they said that really stuck with me was that it got to a point for them where even when I was just, if I would show up in a room, walk in a room, or if they would enter and realize that I am there, it would completely kill the mood for them. I literally brought misery for them. Like, it was just like they didn't even want to be in my space. They just couldn't do it anymore. And I was genuinely confused, and I think the reason why it had such a huge impact was that it questioned a huge part of my identity, which was I'm the nice girl, right? If you could ask anybody about Sino, the adjective nice always comes up, like, oh, that nice girl, that nice pretty girl, or that nice smart girl, or that, like, nice was just always part of it, and I held on to that a lot. Like, it was who I am. I'm nice to people, I'm kind, I'm always smiling, always smiling. I'm like the most approachable person in the room. And the thought of being the cause of a terrible time for people was just debilitating. And the thing is, that struck me in a way that I never thought possible. But more than that, I then carried shame for allowing it to affect me like that. Because I was like, I am I'm 19 at the time. I am a 19-year-old. How could I possibly be so affected by what some girls said about me, right? It sounds so juvenile, right? Like, that's what happens in high school or middle school, and you're an adult. It shouldn't affect you like that. But the thing is, these weren't just random girls. These were people that were super integral in my university life, in my adjusting to everything that university came for, and they felt like an anchor, a safe space, and like I said, a home away from home for me, and I genuinely thought very highly of them, still do, they are cool people, and I still think they're the coolest people. So in my head, I'm like, if they are this cool, and everybody else seems to like them, and they think that I'm this terrible, horrible person that they just could not stand being around anymore, then that means there's something here, right? That means there's something wrong with me. And that literally changed my entire the entire way that I interact with the world. Like, it changed me completely into somebody that I could not even recognize, because I was all of a sudden very afraid of people. In fact, I wasn't afraid of people, I was afraid for people. I was afraid, yeah, I was thinking that I was ready to talk about this without crying. But I was afraid of people meeting whoever it is that they met, people interacting with that version of me that they interacted with. And I really started having these thoughts that if I let anybody close enough, then they will see what they saw. That the nice Sino was actually just the guise. It's not what's really there. Somewhere in there, apparently, there's a monster. And sheesh. From then on, I was very afraid to approach people. I was very afraid to form friendship. I was very afraid to allow myself to get close to anybody. And it created loneliness that is unimaginable. I was in a city that where I had no family whatsoever. And outside of them, I didn't really have friends. I knew people. There were people that I knew, obviously, from class and whatever. But I didn't have friends. Actually, that's a lie. I had like 2 friends. But they were the kinds of friends that weren't necessarily in my day-to-day life. Like when we did meet up and when we were together, they, you know, it was a great time, and I knew that I could go to them for whatever. But they were not those day-to-day friends. Do you know what I mean? Like there are those friends, and then there are friends that are like you go through day-to-day life with. I didn't have those people, and I was afraid to create those people. And there were so many people around me that I felt like could make great friends because I love their energy and their spirit. But for the love of me, I could not get myself to just get out of my head and put myself out there. So what is the point of the story? The point of the story is that, guys, friendshipically wise, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I do not know what I am doing. I think now I just register that experience as I acknowledge and validate their experience of me. I'm not entirely sure how accurate it was. Whoever is, you know, it was their account of the situation, and it is what it was. But their encounter with me doesn't define who I am. It's not who all I am. And I have friends that I've had for more than a decade, like Anati and Nana, who see the absolute best in me. And how could I define my entire self on that one encounter that they had with me? I owe it to myself to not anchor all of who I am on that experience. I could perhaps grow from that experience, but it's not who I am, right? It doesn't define who I am. Anyways, yes, it has taken me 4 years to get to this point. And apparently I still get emotional about it. But like, guys, lonely motherfuckingness. I'm still really dealing with that. I'm now in Johannesburg. None of my friends are here, and I am like really trying my best to love it. I really am. And I have a new friend. Well, she's not exactly new. We actually used to be friends in primary school, but like didn't talk since like grade 7 until somehow we were both in Midrand. So yeah, I'm just gonna insert some clips here.
But the breeze shade, it was refreshing. I feel refreshed.
That has been so cool. You don't. So proud of myself. I guess what I could say that you guys can like take from this is just that friendships can be very like they're a huge part of your life actually. Steve Harvey, I once saw this clip of Steve Harvey where he said a person can survive without a mother, a person can survive without a father, but a person cannot survive without friends. And it really hit me because I was like, that's actually so true. There are a lot of people that do not have a mother or a father or both, or you know, family in the traditional sense, but no one is walking around this earth and surviving without friends. Like every single person is that dependent on friends. And I was just like, it's actually something huge. As we continue figuring out this shit, we continue figuring out what it is to be, you know, to be good friends and to be in a healthy relationship. But we'll talk more about that when I have Anati. So I just wanted to share with you guys some of the things that I do want to talk about when Anati comes in part 2, so that you guys can get ready for that. Get ready for that. So we're going to be talking about our breakup. So Anati and I had a breakup not too long ago actually. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to talk about lessons that we've learned about friendship in the past 12 years. And we're going to talk about the whole concept of best friends. When I first introduced her in my channel, I introduced her as my best friend, and I think we have grown from that time. And also, most importantly, I want to talk about healing in friendship. Yeah, I don't hear a lot about that, but I do definitely want to discuss healing in friendship and what that looks like. And do stay tuned, guys. Great videos are coming. Please remember to subscribe if you are not yet subscribed. Like, share my content. But thank you so much for watching. Remember that this channel is about kindness, being kind to yourself and being kind to others. Mwah!